Sarcasm Podcast, episode number 27, sponsored by Marion Deli. In our opinion, of course, it's got to be. Larry McKearns. We're not allowed to say too much stuff about Larry McKearns right now because he requested homework assignments, handwriting, everything. Math, you name it. We are here today with the GOAT. Come on, you can't say you're not.
The old man.
Okay,
the GOAT in Philadelphia. The GOAT in Philadelphia.
GOAT in Philadelphia.
He's a man.
Proclaiming that.
Owner, operator, head honcho at Martinez BJJ.
Cleaning crew.
There you go.
Substitute teacher. I have all the titles.
Hell yeah. Insane. So insane buzz that Martinez BJJ is having right now.
I know.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Now
it's unreal, and like I kind of accepted it earlier in the year, and I'm gonna ride the hell out of this wave.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you almost have to, because you know how this goes. You be up one month, and you're down at the bottom, starting all over.
So real quick, so we have so many people that are in there right now that are doing insane things, and dude, you're in their corner.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Is that insane?
It's just, I'm just happy for everyone, man, because like you're in there every day and you see how much work they put in, and now they're having all this success, and I'm just so happy for them.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I enjoy them watching, doing what I tell them to do, and just seeing it and just seeing all their success. I'm just so happy for them.
Absolutely.
They can realize this for themselves.
Hell yeah. So going back to like your beginning, when did you start doing like any kind of martial arts? Like, did you play sports as a kid, or just go right in them?
No. I grew up playing baseball, basketball, football, street football. I never played football on a team, but I played basketball and baseball. So at a really young age, I was already active. I was just trying to do what I could just to stay out of trouble.
Right.
And it was a full season of baseball between high school and rec ball. And then as soon as rec ball was done, was straight to basketball. And then once basketball was done, we played street football, pickup games, like pickup tackle.
Right.
And then right back to baseball. As soon as it got warm enough, mid-February, right back to baseball. And that's what I did for years.
Best were those snow days.
Oh
you call your boys and be like, yo, we're playing football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember having a team where it was like the North Philly team would all meet up and play South Philly Cats or up there Northeast. We would meet up and it would be like 20 on 20 and 20 on 20 tackle, no pads, just straight tackle.
Yeah.
On that was tough, man. That was brutal. There were people getting cut, people getting broken ribs, busted. It was crazy.
You know the crazy part is I remember playing and like you would try to hit other people.
Oh, listen, I was trying to hurt people.
Right.
And they were trying to hurt you. Trust me.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, man, I got a funny story. I remember playing here. We're Burholm Park.
Okay.
So they had a pickup game. It was me and some of the guys from the school, me, Chob, Juan. So we all show up, and they had this kid from Arizona that was home for the weekend. He was like a linebacker. And they pitched him the ball as a fullback, and I stood in front of this guy, and I was like $165, just tough. Oh, he ran me over. When I tell you, he stepped on me, on my neck. I had a cleat mark on my neck. And then everyone came over, was trying to pat me on the shoulder, like, yo, you did good, you did. Like, he literally stomped me, ran me over. Oh, my God, I've never been hit that hard. And he turned around. I just put my head down and just, like, held my neck. I was like, damn, that hurt. That guy hit me hard.
my jugular.
No pads, no headgear, no nothing. That was crazy times. You look at it now, it's like,
Right.
We can't afford to do that shit now.
No, definitely
insurance
not.
costs.
No shit. Right. Yeah, that's
Those days
crazy,
are long
man.
gone.
So what was your first martial art you got into? Like what made you
I tried karate, traditional karate at the rec center on
Karate.
Indiana, and like after a couple of weeks, we tried sparring, and I was just like really aggressive. And he's like, "Oh, we don't spar like that. You can't hit hard." So I just like, what's the point?
Right,
And then growing up, we would always box. Like my uncles, my cousins, we would put the gloves on and box. And if you had disputes, sometimes you put the gloves on, go a couple rounds, and you would box. So like fighting was like always there.
Right.
You know, it was never not there. And then in my early 20s, I went to Brazil, and I actually got a chance to see jiu-jitsu live.
Oh, shit.
I came back, and I was at
Would you go to like a tournament or something?
no, it was a dance studio downstairs. We were walking by. We seen a bunch of people dancing and having fun. We walked in. We started dancing. We heard noises, or I heard noises upstairs, and the girl said, American girl. Was like, well, they're doing jiu-jitsu upstairs. I had no idea what it was. And I went upstairs,
shit.
and it was a guy, short guy, really stocky. And I thought he was joking. He's like he came over. And now I know, because I've been in jiu-jitsu so long. He walked up and was like really aggressive. And I didn't think anything of it. He's like, it was just a couple purple belts, few blue belts. And I said, what is this? He's like, oh, it's jiu-jitsu. Like, what do you want? What school you from? I was like, oh, I don't train. I was just downstairs. He said, you have 5 minutes to watch. Put the timer on. They finished the 5 minutes. He came back over. He's like, you got to go. Like, you have to go. I'm like, okay. And I walked away. And then I came back here, and my best friend, like one of my childhood friends, OT, was doing it. And he was doing it at Taekwondo school on 5th Street, where Tierra Colombiana is.
Oh, yeah.
Right across the street. And he kept saying, oh, I'm doing this karate. So I didn't really pay no mind for a few weeks. And then he came in one day. He's like, hey, we're doing triangles and arm bars tomorrow. And I said, what's that? He kind of explained it. I said, I'll go try it. And it was actually a jiu-jitsu guy doing jiu-jitsu and Valley Tudo, because back then it wasn't MMA. It was Valley Tudo. You just show up and just fucking fight.
Right.
And it was like 3 days in,
Palm
I'm
strikes.
full contact fighting. Like with a big cup on, white cup, white sumo cup, shin pads. I got videos of this stuff. I put
Weren't
videos
there
of this
like
out.
palm strikes?
No, that's
like
pancreatious. But we all wore gloves. We wore like the boxing gloves. And when we were done training jiu-jitsu, some guys wanted to spar and just do. It was crazy. I watched those videos. I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? And I thought I could fight at the time. It was just ridiculous. I had a white tank, a white beater on, and some deep pants, and we're kicking and punching and slamming each other, and it was crazy. But that was the beginning. That was like late 2004,
Right.
you know, and then
Damn.
like 2007 is when I actually started fighting. Like I think middle of 2007, there was a flyer that came to the school that said, if you want to do MMA, call this number, and call this number, send an email. So I called the number. I got a message, and I sent an email. He sent an email back saying that the next show is Combat in the Cage. You remember, right? Everybody would do those shows.
Right.
And that's how I started.
Damn.
And then I switched over from gi, because I was only doing primarily gi, over to MMA, and I started doing Muay Thai. I fucking hated Muay Thai. That shit was so rough.
What was wrong with Muay Thai?
Dude, I popped ribs. It was like, right, we would show up to class, and if you were fighting, you had a 3-mile run down Kelly Drive before you even start. Mile and a half back. And then you would do 4 rounds of jump rope, then pad work, then jump rope. And then I had jiu-jitsu class. And then we had knee sparring. And then you had this, and I'm like, I hate this. And they're like, oh, test for your shorts, and they just beat the brakes off you. I'm like, no, this is not for me. Like, it was just tough. It was just really physically demanding and tough. And at the time, I just didn't have the patience for it.
Damn.
You know,
I wonder what, at what point did you go to Fight Factory?
so
what year was that?
I was like,
Had to be like 08 or 09
It was
or
like
something.
the beginning of 08. Because I already had 2 fights in. So this was like middle, like when I broke my hand with Iaquinta. That was my 3rd fight.
You know what's crazy? I just, like, I knew that, but I forgot about it.
Yeah, so I fought Iaquinta. He out-wrestled the hell out of me. We had no wrestling at the school I was at. And then Chab was already going to train at the Fight Factory. I hadn't, because I had a broken hand. And Eddie got on the phone and called me and was like, hey, man, I heard about your fight. If you're looking for, to train and do better. And he was all the rage. He was like the biggest thing in MMA at the time. So for him to call, was like, yeah, let me go check it out. So once my hand got better, I went in and I trained with him. And at the time, like, I was doing grappling competitions, but like blue, purple belt.
Right,
and I
right.
felt like how strong he was and
Who,
how
Eddie?
much conditioning he had. I was like, fuck, this guy's not human. Now, I mean, you feel that all the time now. But
Right,
at the
right,
time,
right.
I'm like, this is where I need to be. And that's how I came to the Fight Factory. But the first couple of months were pretty hard because, you know, there was like a group of guys there, Steve McCabe, Zach, Joey Benz. All those guys were really close.
Right,
so
right,
it was
right.
really hard to get through that shell. But once we got through that shell, these guys became lifelong friends. They still train with me now.
Right. Well, Joey Benz is super successful in judo, ain't he?
Yeah, he's black belt in judo, black belt jiu-jitsu, amazing wrestler, so much knowledge. Like I
Right.
still, every time we train, I
He's
learn
like a
something
super intelligent guy
Yeah.
too. Like he's
new. He's still competing.
So,
He's still pushing me to compete.
so what exactly is judo? Like, what's the difference between like jiu-jitsu and judo?
So they both originated from the same source, right? Judo, jiu-jitsu. Well, judo has a lot of the same stuff as jiu-jitsu, obviously, the chokes and this and that. But as it progressed over time, judo wanted to separate itself from the ground fighting because it wanted to show it was a different sport, and that's what you get now. All the throwing and all this. Back then, when you would do judo, you were allowed to ground fight. You know, you were allowed to be in the guard. You were allowed to fight for triangles, and you were allowed to do a tomonagi. And because a lot of the Brazilians, they at the time, when they came here, they didn't have access to jiu-jitsu tournaments, only in Rio, or in Brazil. So they were doing judo tournaments, a lot of judo tournaments. My old instructors, that's what they did to stay active, and that's how they started to separate the two sports. And that's why you see nothing now, like you can't touch the legs. You
Right.
can't shoot for a double. You can't do this. Only this throw, only that throw, this grip, that grip.
there were some crazy throws, man.
Oh,
That's,
man, listen. I've trained with some
insane.
high-level judo guys. I can't stay on my feet more than 2 seconds. It's so frustrating. Their timing and just how strong their lower half is
right,
insane.
right.
I've trained with some of those guys, and I just can't do it. You know, I'm like, I'd rather pull guard or shoot a double. Like Marius, amazing judo practitioner.
He fought in Bellator.
Yeah, he fought with us.
Yeah.
He was training with me. And, Marius is fucking so good. He always had that one head and arm throw, that headlock throw. Oh, my God, he'd get it from anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare sparring with him, you know, because he was going to throw you. It was just a matter of time. Literally a matter of time, and there was nothing you can do.
100%. So going back to opening up your gym now.
Yeah.
Like, what was the deciding factor in doing that? Because we know that Fight Factory closed down and stuff like that, but like,
So when the Fight Factory closed down, I was already open for a year and a half, and I actually took their mats. I was waiting to try to find something online, cheap mats, so that I can move into the bigger space.
right,
And when Steve closed down, unfortunately, I bought his mats, and that's what allowed me to move in right away.
oh shit,
Because I was looking for a few months, I just couldn't find them cheap enough. And the mats I had at the time, I paid like $16,000 for those mats. They were
damn,
listen. Now you can find mats online for peanuts.
right,
So as soon as they closed down, unfortunately, it happened. I took a lot of their guys, as you saw. They came with
Yeah.
me just because they knew who I was,
right,
and it was like a blessing in disguise for both of us.
yeah,
Because those guys are still there, man.
right.
It was a blessing.
I wish-
I needed that, you know.
It's the first time I ever put on a gi was at Will Spot, and like I had no idea. I remember rolling with like.
because Steve hated the geese.
Yeah, I remember rolling with like Albert Alvarez, and like we were sitting there doing something. He's like, he like grabbed my collar, and I was like, "What the?" I was like, "What the fuck are you about to do?" And he
No,
was
but
like,
you see
"I don't
how
know."
guys have big necks.
Yeah,
All the jiu-jitsu guys.
right.
It's from the gi.
Yeah,
From
right.
all the pulling and you pulling up and stopping chokes. That's how it develops those neck muscles, and it makes you tough to be choked. you
It's
know?
crazy.
And it's like overwhelming. It like overwhelms you sometimes from the heat, the sweat,
Right,
the
Yeah.
exhaustion, your grips. Right, fighting. If your grip and your legs go, you're done.
right.
Yeah, if your grip goes in a fight and if your legs go, you're done. It's like, what else can you do?
It's
You're
insane.
not gonna feel your punches, and you're not gonna be able to do anything.
Right, right.
You know, so I tell all my guys when they come in, even Pat, we had Pat in there the other day doing gi. He came in on a Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. It's extra training. It's the same shit.
Oh shit.
Like if you like no gi, just don't use the collars.
Right.
You can still go for Kimuras, arm locks. You can go for triangles, rear naked chokes. It's all the same.
Right.
You know, you don't have to go for a loop choke or born. You don't have to go for that stuff. It's just hot, and it's restricting because guys can make grips on your pant legs, and they make life miserable. But that's why I like it. You know, I did it every fight camp. I never took it off.
And not only that, but how many matches would you say you go in before the gi weighs about another 5 extra pounds?
In the summer at my school, the warm up.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So you're training with like 5 or 10 extra
we don't
pounds
have air
on you.
conditioning, and as you can see, it's a storefront, really low ceilings.
Yeah.
They'll run 110 degrees in there sometimes.
Oh my god!
Do you put a heater in there? Wasn't there a heater in there?
The winter, yeah. I had 2 heaters.
Do you ever throw that on in the summertime when people are trying to cut weight?
I'll kill somebody. It'd be like 200 degrees in there.
It's a sauna, man. That's a sauna. That's a sauna right there.
Yeah, in the wintertime, like around this time, it's just so hard to train in the cold. So I turn on all the heaters I can. I try to keep it around 80, which is costly enough.
Right.
But when guys are cutting weight, it's like it can get up to like 83, 84.
Right.
Because we'll keep it on the whole class.
Damn. So going back to your professional career, you were in like the early Bellator days. I remember going down to AC at the what was that Jay-Z hotel that he opened down there in AC?
The AC was
What the hell was that called?
I've
called
no
the
clue.
Caesar's Palace. For Bellator, it was.
It was April 14th, 2014.
Yeah, it was the new
2014.
hotel. It was that new hotel.
Yeah, it
by
was
the end
the
of
one that
street.
Jay-Z
It's
owned.
got like
Jay-Z
three
opens-
fucking names now. I don't know what it was.
I remember going
the
down
Revel,
for that.
was it the Revel?
Revel
Revel?
Casino, yeah. I remember the exact date.
Oh, that place was beautiful. The
That was my
arena was insane. It was
Yeah.
the prettiest arena on the whole strip.
100%.
Well,
That was
it
my
was
first time in
expensive.
AC, and I was like, "Yeah, I already got tickets, so we're going to."
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Jay-Z
Revel
opened a
Casino,
spot
dude, it
down
was-
there.
So Jimmy Benz, God bless his soul.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, R.I.P. He was a good dude,
he,
man.
he got me in.
Really to Bellator?
Yeah, so he got me in, and as you can see, it's like that was the opportunity I needed
Right.
to jump to the next level. And my first fight, Bellator, I didn't even know who I was fighting into the drive down that morning because I had 3 guys cancel that week, and I had sold a buttload of tickets. So Bellator wanted to make sure that I was on the card.
Oh shit.
So I get a call the night before I had to drive down for weigh-ins, and they tell me that, the guy can't make the fight, but we have someone else. As soon as he confirms, we'll let you know. So I was tired. I went to sleep, woke up, had a name. And on the way down, it was Terrell Hobbs. I think at the time he was 5-5, and he said he wanted to fight at 155. Thank God, too, because I was stuck. That was my first weight cut to 145, and I was stuck at like 150.
Oh, so you were good.
Oh my God! It was like a blessing in disguise because
Right.
I wasn't gonna make one. I trained for an hour in a sauna suit with the heater on, and I dropped like 3, not even 3 ounces. And I was
you were
stuck.
dry.
I was stuck. I was shredded, and when they said that, I went and ate, got up a few pounds, woke up that morning, drove down. They didn't know much about him. We watched a couple of videos. I said, look, I'm just going to do what I do best. I'm going to grab him, take him down, and choke. I almost got choked out. I can hear Ricardo. We were talking about this the other day, him screaming, "You better not effing tap," in my ear as the guy's choking me. Because right. I never do this, ever. In training, I've never done it. I got on top. I went to mount, and his head popped out. And his back was against the cage, and I went for a guillotine. And I never do it. I never pull anyone on top of me. And I can feel him almost tapping, so I pulled him on top of me. When I pulled him on top, his head popped out, and I went, "Oh shit!" So in the scramble back up, which I should have just stayed there. I scrambled back up. He jumped on my back, so he had one hook in, the full choke, but not this hook, and he was choking me. And I was like, and Ricardo was like, "You better not fucking tap," and I go, and I shake him off. He turns. This was probably the strongest I've ever choked someone. When I choked him, I was afraid, right? I wanted to get it over with. So I choked him. I squeezed him. I can hear his vertebrae cracking.
Oh
Just
shit.
crack, 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 crack. He's tapping, and I'm just. I stretched him so far. If the referee would have waited another second, I think I would have took his head off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I tapped, or he tapped, And that was the beginning. That was
Damn.
the beginning of the career.
Well, when did you first break your hand? Though? I feel like you broke your hand a couple times.
I broke my hand 3 fights amateur. My fight against Iaquinta, I broke my hand. Well, I broke my hand when I was 16 in a baseball fight in Fishtown.
Them
Huge
not
fight.
surprising.
Them fucking fish towners.
Well, huge fight anyway. That was a tough fight. We were fighting everybody, parents.
Oh shit!
Sounds
uncles,
like Sion.
2 cousins.
Sounds like some Sion
Twins.
shit.
Right.
So I
Sion?
broke-
Was it Sion Playground?
It was the one by where Kensington High School is now, the new one. You remember they knocked down
Is that Front Street?
playfield? It's front and Burks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there was the playground there. And we got into a huge fight. I broke my hand. And then when I fought Iaquinta, I broke my hand. I needed surgery. And then my 5th fight, I broke my hand again, amateur. And then my first fight pro, I broke my hand again.
Damn.
So that was already 3 fractures. And then I just decided to not do much stand-up.
Right.
If I want to fight, I can't do much stand-up. And the next 10 fights were majority all ground.
Hell yeah.
And then I broke 2 bones like 2 years ago. My second to last fight, I broke 2 bones. And I needed surgery on the one. So I broke 2 bones in the hand. So that's 6 fractures.
You know how much calcium buildup is in that thing,
See
dude?
my hand.
I know. You could. I feel like you could punch
Gallon
through
of
a
milk
wall.
right there.
I feel like you could punch through a wall or something.
No, I can't. It would break.
Let's talk
easily.
about the beef.
With what beef? With who? I got beef with everybody.
No,
Allegedly, I got beef.
No,
with
No. The what was that? Your last fight? Art of War?
Was that Sharif?
Yeah. Was that real?
No. Yes, it was. Because
Oh,
I was
hold on.
I was like, dude, Will's gonna murder this man.
so.
Hold on. Let's explain.
swear to God.
Explain for folks at home what
All right.
happened.
Backstory. Like one of the few times I ever got mad at Chris Dawkins was this because we went to a show and I just come off surgery, right? And Sharif wanted to fight, and I'm like, okay, if you want to fight, we'll fight. It's not a big deal. I don't need all this extra WWE bullshit.
Right.
I'm gonna fight you. So
He
we
made
came
it
in the
seem like
back,
it was
and I was 3 weeks out of surgery, right? Like 3 weeks out of my splint. And we get to the back, and I had a couple of the guys fighting. I don't remember who. I think Dwayne and a couple other guys, right? So I go up to him in the back, and I say, listen, I'm here to coach my guys. I don't want to take away from my guys. You have the fight. And there's video of this, pictures of me talking to him. And he's like, oh, I respect you so much. Okay, cool, thank you. I said, we're going to fight. As soon as my hand gets ready, Mike gives me a date, we're going to fight. You have it. Done deal. So Dwayne starts fighting one of his guys, and the cage was small, so we're looking like this. The whole time he wouldn't take his eyes off me. And I'm coaching Dwayne. Anyway, Dwayne wins. We get in the cage, and he starts, like, yapping at me. So I'm like, what? I just told you had to fight. So he got close to me. As soon as he got close to me, I started throwing punches. Right?
Oh,
Chris
shit.
picks me up. And I'm like, put me down. Put me down. You're fucking embarrassing me. And he's picking me up. And I was like, don't ever do that again. He's like, oh, I didn't want you to get in trouble. I was like, don't ever pick me up. You know how small you made me feel? So we go to the back, right? And I was a lot smaller at the time. So we go to the back, and I wrap my hand in a shirt. And I say, listen, he came to the back. And I said, if you trying to throw down, we trying to throw down now. And he's like, no, I ain't like that. I didn't think you were going to throw punches. I said, bro, I'm not made for this. I'm not made for this comedic shit. Like, I just want to fight. If you want to fight, let's fight. You don't have to say anything to get me mad.
Right,
because
right.
on that day, trust me, I'm going to hit you as hard as I possibly can. I don't need motivation to do that.
Right,
so
right.
He kept yapping, oh, stand-up boxing, this, that. So I came to fight. I came to throw punches. I already... And the funny part is, the reason I didn't choke him in that fight was because I was wearing an extra large glove on this hand. I had a cortisone shot in this hand because 3 weeks before the fight, I hit Dwayne on top of the head, and I ruptured a tendon in my knuckle. So I couldn't hit anything for the last 3 weeks. So right before the fight, I went into well, I can say this now. It doesn't matter. I went in and I got a cortisone shot in my hand, so my hand was numb. It was so swollen, I needed an extra large glove. So when I was going for the choke, my hand couldn't finish the choke because the glove was so big. I just couldn't do it.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like this, and I finally just let go. I was like, what the fuck? But I came to throw hands. I came to fight, and he came to, I guess do the opposite. Give me a leg baby on the cage because, I'm telling you, after the second round, I'm sitting here. I was like, yo, we're gonna throw punches. Is this what we're gonna do?
Right,
All
right.
this hype for nothing. But he took it to the extreme, you know. But I just recently saw him at the gas station.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like I heard.
No, I came
seen
out.
that.
I parked. I saw him, and the first thing I told him is, I put my keys down, took my jacket off, said, "We gonna fight." He's like, no, we cool, Will, we cool. I was like, all right, we cool then, right? I'm too old to be fighting at the parking lot, but who knows? I'm ready.
Will said, we gonna fight?
No, I told him straight. I was like, hey, man, listen, we gonna fight or what we gonna do?
I'm just
He's
trying
like,
to fill my
no,
tank.
we just hang.
I don't know. I forget who posted that. I don't know. He
I
might
did.
have. Was that
I
you?
did,
Yeah.
I did. I was like, back. He even when he trained with us, he was a cool guy. Like, I didn't really know where all that came from.
Right.
He's like, I want to take your hype. What hype? I'm old. I'm at the end of my career. You shouldn't be worrying about fighting someone at the end of their career. If you're young, 3-1, 3-0, fight younger guys that are up and coming. Why are you worrying about me? If you beat me, you just beat an old man.
Well,
So his logic was
right. Yeah, it was
stupid.
ass backwards for sure. Reason I say that is because like that was I think Mike just put Mike Bickings, Art of War Promotions, just put a post out not too long ago that said like that was the fight that got like Art of War like on the map. Like that was like the biggest hype fight ever.
Yeah. Dude, I think I sold over 300 tickets, and there were people still waiting for tickets. I had one guy buy 11 VIP tickets for that fight.
Damn.
For that fight. How much hype? And I barely did any hype. I just did a couple interviews. Like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to talk trash. Like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I'll start talking about your mom quick.
I want
Your mom.
Wasn't there like fights in the stands and shit?
Yeah.
There was like a bunch of fights in the stands.
You boil the people up, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, but we had Bob Maloney on not too long ago, and
so-
he was the announcer, and he was like, dude, he's like, that was the biggest hype fight ever. He's like, there were fights in the stands.
Yo, I hate to say it, but I saw the video. My dad started it. he had I told Mike afterwards, I'm like, why would you let him do all that stuff? Like, just get him to the cage. You know how much, this crowd just was ready to fight. So
Yeah, it was nuts.
the guy came down rapping, and my dad goes to the stage and throws $1 at him. I was like, this is what you were, $1 rapper.
Oh my god.
He got mad offended. Then the bouncer came over and made it worse because he jumped over the crowd and confronted him, and then all hell broke loose. I mean, that dude got hit by like 30 people because the Beck family was there.
Right.
My cousins were there. I mean, oh my God. It took like 40. It was going to be a fight in the back. It took like 40 minutes to get the fight going.
Damn.
Thank God I won.
Right.
Yeah, you can't be talking that much in the crowd and then not pull a dub in the ring.
Because it would have been a lot worse. I feel when the fight was over, I was so happy that I won because if I would have lost, the crowd would have been crazy.
Yeah, it would have been
nuts. Because his crowd was super hyped, but once he lost, everything kind of relaxed, and like my people were like, yes, and their people were like, oh shit. If it would have been the other way around, I think it would have been 20, 30 more fights that night.
Reckless it would have been, dude. Holy shit.
That was a crazy, crazy night.
Damn.
The whole thing, the lead up, that was probably the only guy in my career to ever talk shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially on like I would say the regional circuit, that doesn't really happen too much. Especially enough to make that much noise. Like that was like
not to that level.
Right.
Yeah, Mike's a hype Mike, I don't know, Mike Binkson's a hype machine.
Yeah.
When he gets a hold of something, he's like he's a hype machine. He can do like videos and promos and hype everyone up because it's original. It's on the East Coast. It's a small venue, and he can hype it up. That's why I like sending fighters to him because he does that stuff for them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
He does little videos for them. Back then, you show up at a gymnasium, nobody knew who the fuck you were.
100%.
47 guys in there.
Yeah.
You be fighting since 7 p.m. to like 2 in the morning.
Yep.
Crazy. Like no one knew.
Overstack cards, 10% ticket sales.
Yeah, Ed Sue, man. Well, we all started there.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
100%.
at the beginning of the career, we all like a lot of the successful guys in this area all started there.
Yeah.
There was no one else doing anything like him except like New Breed and Ring of Combat and those guys. But yeah, he gave a lot of people a good platform to get started.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Pat
He's
Sabatini started there too.
where?
and with Ed Sue down in Delaware.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was 16. I think his first AMI fight in Delaware, I think he was 16. And I could be mistaken, it could be younger.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. We wrapped this, like, I knew of him because his instructor was under Carlos, under
Wait, how old? I
Hegan.
feel like he's only like...
He's 31.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he started fighting AMI at 16.
Oh,
16
shit.
or 17. Yeah. And he started...
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
knew of him because his instructor, Tom McGonigal, Tom McGonigal was with the Machados. And they were telling me about this kid that was, like, phenomenal superstar. And then I met him down in Delaware, and I was like, fuck, this kid's going to be a fucking monster, as you can see.
Yeah, now he just got that win
Yeah, he just won.
last weekend.
Yeah. Yep. He
Damn.
looked strong. He looked fast. He controlled the whole fight. He's well on his way, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Who did he fight last weekend?
Pat Sabatini. He fought in the same card as Sean Brady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last weekend. The crazy thing is, I didn't even know that Pat Sabatini was fighting last weekend.
Did you?
No, I was watching it because of like Brady or whatever, and
Yeah.
he just happens to come out, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, what the fuck?
I remember seeing that, and then it came up with his location and everything, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's from the
Yeah.
area. And I started looking into him and shit like that, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's nuts. So like obviously you've learned a lot of stuff over the years. I feel like a lot of what you learned pretty much made the guys successful. Like you passed your stuff on to the guys, you know what I mean, that are going there. And like what was like something that you would think that you passed on?
So I was talking, like, I don't know, sometimes me and the older black belts would have conversation about MMA back in the day. It's a little bit different now, because back then guys wanted to train with guys that were doing it, that were at a really high level, because we wanted to see where we were at. Now there's so much MMA everywhere.
Right.
Like, so many different coaches, so many different schools, so many different styles. But I've trained with the who's who of MMA. I mean, I've been to some of the best MMA schools, some of the best jiu-jitsu schools. And I don't go there to just say I've been there. I've gone there and I've trained. Like, I've trained hard with all these professionals. I'm not going to say, I'm not the guy in the picture that's like this, that's dry. That's like, hey.
Right.
No, I'm the guy in the picture like, fuck, I need to get better. But Zach Makovsky, everybody knows Zach, when he was in the UFC, he would bring, I think his second fight, he would bring Phil Nurse. And if you know who Phil Nurse is, at the time he was GSP's striking coach.
Right.
John Jones striking coach. I mean, he's the elite of the elite. And while I was trained with Zach, there was sometimes time left over, and he would hold pads, and he would hold pads for me. Yeah, and I learned so much, like return combos. Then I trained with Justin. I trained with a lot of people, like physically trained, either sparring. So I've learned a lot. I tried to give my fighters everything I possibly know, so that they shut me down, so that I go out and get more knowledge and make myself better.
Right.
You know, if I'm doing something to one of the guys 3 or 4 times, I'll tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how you fix it. And then they shut it down. You know, and then they make my life even more miserable. And then I'm like, okay, how do I go from here? How do I do this? I'm never content. And like, if you come to my school, like, I teach everything. You know, I try to be, I just try to be well versed everywhere, with the wrestling, with the judo, with the jiu-jitsu. And I watch fights, and I like guys that have my similar style. I bring it back right away, and I'll tell the guys. I'll be like, guys, I saw this, and I've been working it, and this shit works. I got it from this person. I'm not the one that says, oh, I did this, or I did it. It's not true. I saw it, and I'm like, dude,
I'm
Khabib,
self-taught.
that looks sick. I'm going to try
Charlie
that.
Oliveira, this, that. And I'm like, yo, these guys did this. This is from the position. Let's work it. Let's see.
Right.
And then we start working it for a couple weeks, and we start hitting it. And it's like, oh, my God. And then they got better. And then I'll bring something back, trapping the legs, how to escape the legs, how to escape the grip. And then I translate it over to the jiu-jitsu class, too. So If we're in half guard and we're riding the wrist from top like Khabib does, where he cracks, I do that in the jiu-jitsu class too. I don't want to be selfish, not show them.
Right.
You know, so I do it in the gi, no gi, MMA. I try to bring all that stuff into every class. So everybody's on board. You know, and that's the way I've been. It's just, and it's been successful.
Let me ask you this: who taught you how to feel like you're 400 pounds on top?
Carlos Machado.
That's insane. I've told it.
Listen,
I'm pretty sure.
You think I'm heavy? He's mid-50s, and oh my god,
I don't
I want to feel this because like I've went against quite a few good wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like state
No, dude, you don't understand,
wrestlers.
dude.
And like the way he talks about it, he's just like obscene. Like it's like I want to.
It's insane.
I literally talk about it often.
Levels.
Like
It's
no,
insane.
I'd be like, dude, if I'm talking jujitsu with somebody,
yeah, so now my main goal for like the white belts and some blue belts is once I get the side, I'll squeeze them with so much pressure that I make them tap.
really?
And it makes my day. Because I didn't have to do anything but squeeze them. I mean, I'm like, but Carlos does that to me, even at my level. Like, the pressure is insane. This man gets on, he's about 180 pounds.
Right.
He gets on top of you, and it feels like it's 500 pounds of just compressed pressure, isolated to, like, where he wants it.
Right.
It's just not everywhere. It's like, if he's pushing here, that's where the 450 pounds are. You're like, oh, you're crushing my ribs.
Yeah.
If he's over your chest, it's insane. And I do seminars with him, and I learn from him, and I love his style because it's so slow,
Right.
so basic. And if you see all my fights, I don't do anything crazy. I do the same exact thing over and over. I'll take you down, get the side, Kimura, beat the shit out you, get your back, try to choke you, get to mount, beat the shit out of you, Kimura until I choke you.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
I'm not trying to go through 30 submissions when I don't really have to.
Right.
He taught me that. But
Damn.
it's a skill. You learn it over time. I guess your body gets more dense, more like muscle structure.
I don't know,
Yeah,
bro.
I can understand that.
I remember rolling up in there, man, and like Will would just pick me out.
No,
like, it would-
I train with everybody.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying like when you do rounds, like when he goes, all right, let's train. Bam, everybody goes around, you all down, and he'd be like, all right, let's go. And I'd be like, fuck. All right, let's go.
Now
Well,
I'm
like,
saying
that's-
that.
Yeah, I know.
So I get
Dude.
Kyle come over. He's like, "You want to go hard?" I'm like, "Oh fuck." I was like, "How hard are we going?" I got to get myself mentally ready for this shit
Right.
now.
Yeah, dude, both of them, man, them guys, they're crazy. What do we think about I don't even know how to pronounce the name, Crisadia? Is that
Saida.
Crisida? You think she's UFC bound?
I think the best thing that ever happened to this girl was her last loss. She's a completely
Well,
different
that was
fighter.
a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
it
it
was
a tournament?
insane. We didn't expect anything. It was just a good platform for her
Right.
to show the world what she had, and she did. She came up short, but I think it was the best thing that ever happened to her, because she is a different animal right now.
Really?
I mean, in sparring, she is a different animal. So I'm glad. Like, it's a saying, you learn more from a loss than you do from wins. It's honestly true.
Oh, 100%.
It's the best thing that,
Right.
that you never want to lose. That's the dumbest shit to say. I want to lose so that I can. That's stupid. But if you give it your all and you lose, it opens up your mind to different things. Like, you know what? Man, I should have done this. Why didn't I do
Right.
this? She hit me hard and I took it. And what's the problem? Why am I afraid? And it makes you look deep down inside of yourself. And sometimes that's what you need. I think that's what she needed. Because right now, man, her sparring rounds with me,
Crazy?
she's hitting me. I mean, she's
took a deep
130 pounds.
Right.
But she's hitting me hard.
Right.
And I think that was her last piece of her puzzle. Because her wrestling, her wall drills, her
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu's
I
all
watch her. I
insane.
watch every fight she has.
Yeah, it's all about biting down on her mouthpiece and saying that we're gonna go. And if she can
let's
do that,
throw.
she's ready now. But I think mentally, after this next fight, next 1 or 2 fights, if she goes out and fights like she's been sparring, holy hell, she's gonna beat some people up. Legit, she has it in her.
Hell yeah. Yeah, she's an animal, dude. She's good.
And we got some younger guys coming up that are just as good now, man.
I know. Oh, what's
How
his
young?
name?
How young? How
What?
young do you start them? Like
At
when
5.
do you start like
5
looking
years
for like
old.
actual talent?
I don't want them. I don't want them to fight. I just want them to learn how to defend themselves. But if they want to fight, then I'll teach them how to fight. But you don't want a 10-year-old because like everyone says they want to fight till they get hit.
100%.
Once you do a couple sparring sessions, you're like, I don't really want to do this, you know? And I want it to come from them. Like, as kids, like, jiu-jitsu right now is making a lot of money, right? Back then when we did it, there was no money in it. You spend thousands of dollars going to tournaments.
Right. Well, no, I feel like that's because, like, nobody really knew what it was.
Yeah. So,
because, like, UFC was just coming up. So everybody's like, as somebody would go into an MMA gym and be like, yeah, I want to train UFC. They still do.
They still do this.
It's just like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I get it at least 2 times a year. And then what I get to is people come in and it's like, I want to join. I was like, well, what program do you want to do? Well, what programs do you have? I said, you walked in here, you don't even know what we do? And people get mad at me, right? I'm the asshole. I'm like, you just walked into a school and you don't even know what you want to do.
Right.
Like, how can I explain jiu-jitsu to you? Well, I want to do MMA. Well, have you wrestled? No. Have you done boxing? No. Have you done this? No. Then how can you do MMA?
Yeah.
You first have to start with your jiu-jitsu, which incorporates wrestling, right?
Yeah,
Jiu-jitsu,
absolutely.
no-gi, wrestling, striking, and then MMA. But everyone thinks that it's like we're going to just go to MMA. That's crazy. It's not possible.
I feel like most people just like really underestimate the term even MMA. It's like mixed martial arts. Like there's a plethora of different martial arts that people will study for their entire lives without even joining like an MMA or something like that. They'll just stick to one specific thing, but people just think they can hop into it and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a fighter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna wake up. I'm just gonna, you know what I mean?
Go do MMA at the gym,
or they want to fight at the bar.
Right.
They want to fight against a drunk dude, and now they're like, I think I'm a fighter. I was like, okay, let me put you through a month of fight training.
I'm
Let's see if you're
2-0.
Yeah. So and a lot of them don't even make it. I'll tell them, look, start with the jiu-jitsu, work your way up, and then we'll invite you to the MMA class. I don't do this for, I do MMA because it's my passion, and I want to see these guys succeed, but I don't do it to have 100 fighters. You say I could have 100 fighters at my school easily.
100%.
I choose not to, because there's a lot that goes into this. Especially a coach. You don't want to see your guys get hurt. You always want your guys to be prepared and be successful, and that takes a lot of work. And I've done it, so I know what it takes.
Right.
And I know what it takes to be at another level because I've been at that level, and I know what it takes. And a lot of these guys, they see it as like, in one ear, out the other.
100%.
Can't really help
I mean,
it.
I can't imagine the amount of gyms from like when MMA really started getting bigger that just collected money off of people. UFC started getting big. They were just like, oh, you want to train MMA? 100%, dude. Come on. $100 a month, you
want
got
to be
it.
the next Brock Lesnar? I'll make you the next Brock
Right.
Lesnar.
And that's why none of them are around now, though.
Yeah, but me as a coach, and I've been to so many amateur shows, I've seen it. I've seen guys show up with no cup, mouthpiece, and not even know how to hit pads. They don't even know what your basic pummeling is, right, to warm up.
Right.
They don't even know that. And their coach is, like, holding pads, and you're looking at them, and you're like, why is this guy fighting? Goes out there, gets knocked down in 30 seconds. That guy never fights again.
Right.
Or if he fights again, another 30 seconds, and then he never fights.
Right.
So I won't allow you to fight until you meet certain restrictions. And that's not because I don't want to water down product. That's a part of it. I really care about my fighters.
Right.
I'm not, this shit, like, I've done it. I know what a concussion is. I know what a broken hand is. I know what it is to go to the hospital with your fighters after they fight. I know what that is.
Right.
And I'm not going to put someone in there just because I want 50 fighters to put a guy that's not ready to fight.
Right.
When I tell you you're ready to fight, then you're ready to fight. And some people just can't get there.
Right.
They'll go to the gym next door, then I'll let them fight, and then they fight and get beat up, and they badmouth me because I didn't help support that dream that they wanted that they weren't ready for.
Right. So
and
you got to put that time in first.
And that's a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I lived at the gym when I first started fighting at the Fight Factory. I had a full-time job. I would get up at 6:30, work till 3, come home, run 3 miles, go to the Fight Factory, come home, go to the garage, do some weights, wake up, repeat every single day. So when they say, I work, I need 2 days off, I'm like, what? I never took days off.
Yeah.
And sparring sessions at Fight Factory, sometimes you leave and your head will hurt for like a week. Because it'd be the who's who. So,
especially when the pros had a fight coming up, and they would bring other people in, and they
Yes.
would bring like their team in.
Yes.
Like this one time in
Yes,
particular.
you don't know those guys.
Yeah.
So now they kick you hard, you want to kick them back hard. You know.
Aaron Meisner.
And then it's a
He would
straight up
kick the
fight.
balls off you,
fuck,
dude.
man. Him. Oh man, Chris Lingori, Frankie came in a couple times. I never actually.
Well, so here's
sparred
the
with him.
so
Wilson Popo.
yeah.
Fuck.
So here's the thing: when Eddie was getting ready for some fight, he brought in Frankie Edgar, and Frankie Edgar brought in some of his guys. And you know how sparring went. Every like 2 minutes or 3 months or whatever, you'd swap partners. So got a chance to spar Eddie. He would whack you, but he would coach you too. He'd be like, "Yo, keep that hand up." Frankie came around, same thing. But then I was expecting, I was like 19 at the time, maybe. I'm thinking, like, I'm going against this guy. I'm like, oh, he's a pro. Like, he'll teach me. Beat the balls off me, dude. And I'm like, dude, what the
listen,
I found
I've been
myself
there.
biting
There's
my
your lesson.
mouthpiece.
Dude,
Like, just throwing.
I've been there. I've probably been in more tougher fights in the gym than I have ever any rounds in MMA.
Oh, yeah.
With guys' egos, and like mine's included, because you know now I'm more relaxed. I know when things are getting a little out of control, and now back then, hell no. There've been a couple times where I've really tried to hurt guys in sparring. Trust me, it happens a lot.
Who was that dude, Fight Factor guy? Real jacked, like, black guy.
Kashim,
yeah.
he ended up he fought Chab, and then he came to the Fight Factory.
Yeah.
Him, Mike, all those guys.
He used
they
to
were
dip his
big
hands in,
dudes.
like, hell water and throw them at you and sparring and shit. Like, he was heavy with
Hell
that shit.
water. Oh my god.
It was like,
Dude, it was tough. It was like you walk down those steps on Saturday and your head would just be hammering. Like,
go right to the hinge for
like,
breakfast.
boom, boom. You would just feel it for like 2 or 3 days. I'm telling you, those rounds are tougher than I think any round I've had in any fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that was a legendary. I was super proud of being part of that, man. It's Fight Factory was.
Yeah,
man,
it gave
that
me
was-
my roots, and
that was
those guys
crazy.
are still with me. A lot of those guys.
Hell yeah.
You know, some have moved on just because life,
Right.
but they still know where home is.
No, 100%,
You know, they come in,
absolutely.
They train. Steve still trains with us. Joey, Zach's in Bethlehem. Obviously, he's not in this area, but it was a good group of guys, man.
Hell yeah. One thing I could say about Martinez BJJ, what's the address there? What's that?
3511.
3511 Cotman Avenue. Now, do you have plenty opening spaces?
For what?
Like for enrollment? Like if somebody wanted to go?
Yeah. Our kids program is filling up. I think we're about 80 kids, and I think I'm going to close it off at 90
Okay.
between the two classes. But adults, there's plenty of classes. I mean, we have classes every single day.
Right.
We have gi, no gi, kickboxing, so you can rotate from day to day. So it keeps the classes normal size, like 30, 35, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So when do you usually hold your classes? Because some days are gi, some days are not gi, or like is it certain times?
So we have Tuesday, Thursdays, and night, and during the day and night are primarily gi. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we alternate. And then Saturday, Sunday is game on. It's like you can do whatever you want because there
Open
isn't
gym,
any.
sparring.
Yeah, there isn't any classes after. So guys will start doing gi, and then they'll end up doing no gi, which is fine. Guys come in, and they'll do, like, fight training on Saturday, and then Sunday is just everything. So, yeah, Sundays are tough. Today was a tough day.
Yeah, hell yeah. If there's one thing I've learned about going to Martinez, I went there for a little bit. He pushes you. I remember my first time back sparring. I sparred Will, and I don't think he punched me in the face once. Beat the balls off my body, dude.
He's taking it easy
To the
on
point
you.
where I was,
I tell guys
dude,
that.
I was doing
I tell guys that. And even now we've sparred like that.
yeah.
I haven't been put down, I think, one time in my whole career with a body shot. Zach put me down at the Fight Factory. In the last 6 months, I've been put down fucking 2 times with body shots. And I'm like, damn.
It got to a point where, like,
game up.
yeah,
now I'm at
dude.
dinner doing trouble like a month ago. I came on, I was like, oh, let's spar him in years. I go for some leg kicks. He turns southpaw, he throws a body kick, and his 2 toes caught me right in the, like, floating ribs. Straight down. Yo, you know what I said? I looked at him. He's like, "You all right?" He's like, "I don't need this shit." And I told one of the other guys, "So like, finish the round. I don't need this shit."
Right.
And I walked away. And then Kyle did it too, southpaw.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. He teeped me right to the same side. I don't know what is it with that side. It got soft over the years.
Got soft.
But that's 2 times body shots. But
Hell yeah.
we don't really care because if you get put down with a body shot, right, it resembles throwing really, really hard in a fight. But what's the worst thing that can happen? You get a little belly pain, you get up, you finish your rounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
That does gas you though, man.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Oh, you start getting hit to the body, you start freaking out.
I was shooting like bullshit ass takedowns, like just trying to dive for the legs and shit, dude. I swear to God. It was woke me up a little bit, to say the least. For sure.
Do you ever get knocked out in like a training session? Like
Never. I've never in my whole career, ever in my whole life.
Do you think that's because your skill set, or like you
I think it's
just?
because I'm Puerto Rican. You got a hard ass head. I don't know.
You do got a thick neck though, dude. Neck is
My head is just honestly. I growing up, I played baseball. I've been hit with a baseball bat. Like you know how they do the backswing.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Saw lights. Never been out. Fighting. I've been hit hard. Never been out. I've had 1 concussion when I fought Des Green.
Oh shit.
He lifted me up about like 3 inches off the ground. When I hit the ground, my temple, like this side of my head, it was only like 3 inches.
Right.
Hit the ground. I saw a flash. I didn't remember the fight.
Just nothing.
Nothing. I finished the fight. I was in the fight. I remember fighting, but after the fight, I don't remember the fight. I knew that I had a concussion because that night I couldn't sleep and I was throwing up, and I thought it was because I was drunk because I had 3, those big beers, the big ones they sell at the convenience store. And I didn't eat much, so I fell asleep. My flight was in the morning. I'm throwing up. I get up. I get on the plane. I'm still nauseous. Get here, throw up. And when I got here, I was like, yeah, I have a concussion. And then like 2 weeks later, I saw the fight. And it all came back to me.
Really?
As soon as I saw my head hit the ground, the whole fight came back to me in like this weird vision. And then I remembered the whole fight.
Damn.
It sounds like a Friday night for me.
Nah, that's because of drinking. This because I landed on my head. But the only time in my career I ever had a concussion or was ever out for trauma.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yep.
One of the very fortunate ones, dude. Holy shit.
Really lucky.
So who do we got here? Who do we got coming up? We got Kyle, Chris, Pat Brady's coming up.
Pat on the 4th, Pat. And
how do you feel about that? The Pat Brady fight. Is he I think he's primed and ready, dude.
He is, but it's heavyweights.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Heavyweights are like, it's like Russian roulette. You never know
one
because
kiss on that chin,
yeah,
man,
it takes a
wrap.
jab, like one jab to go down. Is he ready? Yes, he's been putting in mad work. He's been doing the circuit training. I think we have the game plan to slow this guy down and get close enough where Pat can hit him and not miss. Because if Pat hits him 3 consecutive punches, this guy's going to the, like he says, what he said, a stratosphere or the next planet. I remember after his fight, that's all he kept yelling. I'm like, no, he's still right there. You just knocked him out.
That was the Virginia fight?
Yeah, no, that shit was crazy. That fight was crazy. They broke the cage.
Dude, I seen when he posted the pictures.
He broke the cage. When they circled off, the mat, like, lifted. It was like a 4-foot wave of mat in the middle because they were pressing so hard against the cage.
Oh, shit.
That's some big boy shit.
Oh, dude. Even Chris, Pat, it's so hard for me because no matter how much we game plan or how much it takes one punch and it's fucking lights out, man. As you can see on Chris's fights.
Dude, he's that's insane.
Yeah, that's heavyweights.
You don't understand.
Pat's gonna be fine. He's putting in the work. He's got the right team behind him. It's up to him to learn how to manage. We talked about this. Fighting at a pro level, you need to manage every second of the fight so that you don't blow your load.
Right.
And if you've been in fighting, you know how fast you can do that.
That adrenaline dump is
one double
real.
leg and a scramble, and you're done.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to manage the time, and that's what we worked on in sparring too. You know, everyone wants the magic game plan. It's hard. Like we'll give you a game plan to attack, and if you do what you're supposed to, you'll get in, and if you land what you're supposed to, you're gonna win. But you know how it is. Game plans change. Like you could be game planning to take the guy down, then the guy comes and takes you down.
Right.
But we train that too. You know, every training session we train offense, defense. It's never just one specific thing.
Right.
You know, and guys are prepared to do both.
Dude, that's insane, man. I think it was Chris's last fight. I lost my voice like that whole next day.
Oh man, he grabbed
he
me.
was-
I
he
told
was
Chris Dawkins,
screaming.
right?
Yeah.
Pat was in the corner when he won. He reached over. That's how I knew how strong he was, because he grabbed my this bone in his shoulder, the clavicle here, and I thought he broke it. He grabbed me, and I'm just like bending over. I grabbed his hand. I was like, "Don't ever grab me like that again." He dug his hand. He was so excited. It was a huge thing, and it's good that Chris and Kyle are doing that. That they're giving back to guys that are helping them so they can experience that. That's an amazing experience. You know, coming out of that walkway and hearing those fans and you being a fight. I dropped the towel, the bucket, right? I had the bucket, so I dropped the towel. They went out in front. When I came out, I saw the crowd. I ran, and I thought it was for me. I thought it was like, I started feeling the goosebumps, and I'm like, calm down, you're here to coach. Focus, calm down, calm down. So the goosebumps all over my body, and that's what it feels like, that excitement. And people are like, why do we do this? After every fight, they always say the same shit. Why do we do this? Me too, included. That's why we do it. Right?
Hell yeah.
People jump off planes, and that excitement, that joy, that's why we do it. But yes, every fight we always say the same shit. Why do we do this? And win or lose, you go to the back and you're like, oh, why did I put myself through this?
Right.
But then you look and you feel that emotion and all that, and you're like, this is why I do it.
Unbelievable,
That's how I tell
man.
people. That was crazy. That was an experience that I haven't fought in a long time because of COVID.
Right. Yeah, that screwed a lot of stuff up here. So we got December 4th, Pat Brady.
Yeah, and then Chris
December
Saga.
18th.
No, December 12th. December 4th is Pat and Kale. He's a heavyweight too. He's been working.
He's on the Art of War card?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Kale. He trains at 2 gyms. He just started with us recently. But he's fighting heavyweight, striker.
Oh shit! I didn't
we've
know
been
this.
working his all around MMA game, and every Monday is insane how like better you see guys get. You know, if the room, so it you know, it's one thing to have 100 fighters too, but it's another thing if those 100 fighters all care about you.
Yeah.
Right,
and all
right.
want to put the effort to help you.
100%.
You know, not just be there to be there. You know,
Right.
who cares? And all our guys, they just push hard, man. They take criticism from each other. Don't care if the guy's not this guy's 6-0 and they're doing wall drills and he's taking advice from a guy that's 1-0, you know, or 1-2, and we all share. And then, you know, I just walk and I make sure everyone's doing what they're doing, and I was like, readjust here, do this, let's try this, let's work from here. That's my job as the coach now. You know, like these guys, there isn't much more you can teach them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just sharpening what you know they're really strong at, right? Because I'll tell a guy, and this comes from my years in Delaware, is that there were no videos. You had to understand a guy's style just by looking at him,
Oh
right?
shit!
Because there were no videos, there were no background, there was
Right.
It was MySpace.
Yeah.
Damn.
I remember my MySpace,
Yeah,
dude. It was
you remember?
nothing
Yeah,
about UFC or some shit like that. It was
dude. So you couldn't find videos and stuff like you do now. Like
Right,
now,
right.
you can see 10 fights highlights, and you can adjust to see. All right, from what I know you do best, I know you're going to be here, here, and here. So if you can take advantage of these positions while you're there, you have a chance of winning, and that's what I think I'm good at.
Right.
And even in fight, making adjustments throughout the fights, like what I see, and then they come back to the corner and it's like, okay, do this, this, and this. Try to take him down this way. If you take him down, this is what he's going to do, because you have habits that you see in videos. The better
Right.
guys disguise them, because if they get taken down and they roll to their back, right? Always the first couple fights. But now their wrestling is so good, it takes 10 times. It's 10 times harder to get him there. But once you get him there, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
So you just have to get him there. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's where a good coach comes in. You know, a good coach finds those things, sharpen those things, and say, hey, this is your best chance of attacking. And if you do it, you find success.
100%.
If you don't, then it's up to you.
Right.
You know?
It's crazy because I feel like not a lot of coaches do that. I feel like what they'll do is they'll just like hold pads, crisp up your footwork, shit like that. Maybe come up with a game plan. And I'm hearing the way I think of this is because if you ever hear some of that audio, the corner audio,
Makes no sense sometimes.
sometimes it makes no
And
sense.
even in between rounds, it makes no sense.
Right, and you're just sitting there like, dude, what? Wait, what?
It's like, man, you listen to some of these coaches and they're like hype men.
Right.
If you go back and you listen to how I coach the amateurs and how I coach the pros, it's always an objective.
Right.
This is what I saw. Do it again. Counter with this. Do it now. Or when you hear me say do it now, do it now. It's not trying to go in there and hype him up. It's not like, come on, do this, do that, get up when he take. No, tell him how to get up. Say, hey, get up. You remember that move that Eddie taught? Give him a reminder, a visual reminder.
Right.
Because Eddie came in one time, we were doing half guard, and he would grab the cross hand, and he would scoot out, and it's almost impossible for him to grab you. You know, same thing with cage work, and same thing with this. I'll name it out. Do what this person does, and that gives him a visual. You know, and then I don't have to be like, just get off the wall or do that combination.
Right.
What?
Get up.
And
like, all right, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Simplest direction.
Yeah, and then striking too. If you look at, but this is throughout the years. This is not recently. Guys work on these 50 punch combinations.
I hated it.
Pass. When's the last time you see somebody throw more than 3 punches in a combination? Tell me the truth. When's the last time you seen a guy slip a jab, uppercut, cross hook, body, cross? We do that, but we also break it up into different parts and say, hey,
like
listen,
little segments and shit.
So, this is just to work hands. Take this combination that we first started, the double jab cross, that's a combination in itself.
Right.
And then body, hook, cross, that's a combination in itself, right? So, in this one pad work, you're learning 4 different combinations that could be interchanged. It's up to you in sparring to interchange them. It's not up to the coach to be like, give you every combination. And no, it's up to you as a fighter. That's your job.
100%.
Like that IQ.
100%. I feel like those like classes you would take or something like that, where that was like the stand-up class. That's more like a workout class.
It is because we don't
when you're throwing like 25.
Yeah, it's just for like cardio for people. But as fighters, if you look at Muay Thai, when it was basic. You remember, right? Cross hook kick.
You're right.
Double jab, cross, switch knee.
Yeah.
Switch kick, cross. It was 2 punches, big kick, big knee. 1 punch, big kick, and that's what you've seen. I mean, guys are getting more, especially now the new generation. They're getting more adjusted of throwing bigger shots, but you still don't see 20, 30 punch combination. But guys. And guys like that. Guys like that attention, man. At my school, I hold pads. If fights are coming up, I hold pads. But I have them hold pads too, because then they learn how to hold and they learn combinations and they learn how shit is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, all right, 1, 2, this is where he needs to be, and that translates to you too.
Right.
You know, and hey, listen, if you have the money to get somebody to hold pads every day, good for you.
Yeah, fuck that, man.
It's also good to hold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You learn.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
So that's what we do. Everybody holds for everybody. You know, you got to learn.
Absolutely. That's like one of the best things ever. Sure. I feel like I conditioned your forearms too, man. Heavy kicks and shit.
Yeah, and then when you're doing return drill, it conditions your legs.
Yeah, your legs.
Your legs, your body, if they're kicking.
What's the return drill?
So if I'm holding pads and I have shin pads on, so you'll throw like 1, 2, and then I'll kick you to the leg.
Okay.
And you check or to the body and you block, so you're constantly feeling impact. So when you spar, it's not a foreign thing that, oh shit, I got kicked, because kicks hurt. I'll tell you, you get kicked the right way, man. Oof, you're gonna be walking, you're gonna be limping for a few days.
It feels like the worst dead leg ever. All right, so we got December 4th, Pat Brady.
Then I got Chris Saida in Miami. She's fighting, I think.
December when is that?
12th or December 11th.
Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
It's the 11th.
So she's fighting then.
Damn, you got a busy 10th. December, man.
Well, I can't. This would be the first fight I can't make, because I had plans to go to Puerto Rico and do a retreat.
Oh, seen that.
So I'll be in Puerto Rico doing a retreat for the guys at the end of the year. So we have about 26 members and family members coming out. I just couldn't swing it this time, and she needed to fight. So I mean, I can't hold her back.
Right.
So I said, yeah, Matt Turnbull is gonna go out corner her.
Cool.
He's an extension of us. Like it's not gonna be any different.
Right.
I just look better, but she'll be fine. And then Chris is December 18th, and then I think we're good for couple months.
Well, you got Kyle in February, right?
Kyle's in February, and I think all these other shows are going to pick up in February. So that gives me a little time to be at home.
Yeah.
I have to worry about travel because I've been traveling a lot. Man.
So it's crazy. That's what a lot of people don't understand that watch that shit, man.
Dude,
When they have multiple fighters out there traveling, is that coaches out there. It's not just.
So I was telling you upstairs, I think this year is up to 6 months of me sitting in hotel rooms. Quarantine.
Oh, right,
which
right.
Which is insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to.
Yeah.
Listen, it's tough. Like, I've been. All these fights, they want you out. Like now, I can't because the kids are back in school, so I can't go out for the full week. But during COVID, they were home. They were at home, so I can go out the full week. Man, it's tough. It's tough. It's mentally really, really tough, man. You know, so you can't do anything.
Right, right.
You know, you don't want to risk going anywhere either. Then they'll cancel the fight. So it's just you 3 or 4 guys sitting there for the week, just waiting for this fight to come. Waiting for this fight to come. Waiting for this fight to come.
Do you think that's like mentally like messed with any of the fights that your fighters have had?
No, I think the fighters are in a zone,
Okay.
and like fight week that way, I think is better for them because they're more focused.
So you'd rather have that than the way that it used to be? You know what I mean? Like where you just show up a couple
No,
days
you just
before.
ask for them. It's good for them, not
Yeah.
good for the coaches.
Well, let me
no,
ask
I'm
you
not
this.
saying
Terrible
you,
for
but I'm
us.
saying for
No,
them. You know what I
but
mean?
like me
it's
putting myself in the fighter mindset, it is good because there are no distractions. But before COVID, we would travel and we get to hit the strip, we get to we'll go out to the mall.
Right,
Now we don't do that, and it's taxing, man. It's
Let me ask you this: what do they do to get a cut weight? Do they get gym time?
No, they get gym time. They get one of those little portable saunas.
Where your head sticks out and shit?
Yeah, those things work. I love that thing. I wish I had that.
They have one now that like
They're
your whole
awesome,
body
dude.
goes into. It's like a pop up thing.
Yeah.
And it's like-
it's
it's like-
like this big.
Well, the one
Right?
they have out now, it's like
I've
$300
seen
bucks
it,
at
yeah.
Amazon. It's like 6 foot tall,
I
and
wouldn't want to stand.
it's like you have a little seat that comes with it. It's infrared.
Oh, those things are awesome, man.
I think the dude, remember Jarrett that used to
Yeah.
come? I think he was up at BJJ United I think he's still there.
Yeah, no, yeah. I still see on his
Yeah,
Facebook.
he has one of those,
No,
and he loves the thing.
guys from the school have them too, and if they have to travel, they'll lend it to each other.
Right.
But the UFC provides it, Combate provides it. Pretty much all the promotions are providing it because they can't
Oh
go
shit!
anywhere.
Yeah, right.
So they'll have like 4 or 5 on at the show, and you can just borrow them.
Damn.
Yeah, they're good, man. They work. I like it, and it's less stressful too because your head's out.
Right.
You know, in the sauna, you're breathing the hot air all the time. You start
Yeah.
freaking out. But your head's out. You can talk. You can, put some ice. So it's really good. That's how Kyle, Crescita, Zed, Matt,
Right.
that's how they all been cutting weight.
Damn.
What's
That's
the
crazy.
most amount of weight you've had a fighter cut within, I guess, like a weekend or however? What's the time span that you
It had
guys
to be
get there?
Turnbull, I think. It was the most, like, for his size.
How much weight?
14 pounds or something.
14?
How long? 2 days? 3 days?
Like 3 days, I think, recently.
His last
Wow.
fight?
Last fight. That's a lot.
Damn, dude, he must have been sucked out.
Yeah, Kyle cuts too. He cuts a big amount of weight, but he has it to a science. It's easy for him.
Yeah, I can tell he's.
And then Crescita cuts like 5 pounds,
Yeah, I mean,
and she's stressed out.
Dude, I feel like once Kyle got that like certification and like that Dolce diet, it just completely
Yeah,
changed
his
his
life
entire.
Yeah, well, you start looking at eating a different way. Right now, I look at eating for pleasure, not for performance.
Right.
They look at eating for performance. So the better they eat, the more performance they get out.
Even Chris is starting to look like
He's got muscles now.
but he's
Yeah,
like
he's got
starting to
muscle.
look like.
His strength's increased so much, and that's just from being a full-time fighter.
Right.
He gets to
right.
sleep, he get rest. I had mentioned, I was like, look, listen, ain't it good to just take naps during the day? He's like, yeah. Dude, like you go have a huge workout in the morning, go home, eat. You can rest, sleep, come back at night, have another huge workout, and that's good, because you're getting
Right.
rest, you're getting sleep, because this is all you do now.
Right.
Is fight, But when you have a profession, it's tough. Like, you
I'm in
can't-
that Whoop. You know what the Whoop is?
Is that the
Yeah.
watch everyone?
I'm in the Fuel Hunt thing with him.
Yeah, that shit would
He has
say-
like an 18 strain almost every day.
Like mine's is like recovery non-existent. It'd be like 3 negative.
Do you have one?
Nah, I won't.
I was about to say it's
It's just gonna say I'm fat.
It's very
It's gonna be like fat.
yeah. It's very interesting having that and just seeing like what your daily actions do to you, recovery wise, strain wise, calorie
REM
wise.
sleep. I just found out what that was from those guys. Like REM sleep. Like
You ever heard of
deep
REM?
REM?
Yeah, REM sleep. It's what is it?
Rapid eye movement.
Yeah, rapid eye movement. Do you ever see somebody sleep and their fucking eyes are going crazy?
Because I'm sleeping with them. If we're all here and you guys go to sleep, I'm going to sleep too.
He's a very practical
I'm not
man.
watching
He's
you
not
guys
watching
sleep.
anybody
I was like, damn, they're sleeping. I gotta go sleep too. Oh man.
Hell yeah. So what do we got? 10 more kids in the kids program. All adults are welcome. You will get pushed. For sure.
Well,
not physically, mentally.
Like I've always said, if you pay for something, try to get the best out of it.
100%. Absolutely.
And guys don't know what they can do until they actually do it. You know, they won't know. I just did a hard training session on Thursday where we did like a bunch of 10-minute rounds switching on and off, and everyone was so
10-minute
excited. It's been
rounds?
a while. So when we
Holy
first
shit.
started, we didn't have many higher belts. So every session I had to make these blue belts and purple belts be phenomenal because we needed it. The fighters needed it. The black belts. Now I have so many black belts, so many brown belts that if you want a hard day, you can go 5 straight black belts, all really good black belts. That's all you need. You're
Right.
exhausted, you know, and the white belts have blue, purple, brown, and black to pick from. So like 5 rounds for them is exhausting too. So I don't need to be in there now doing 30-minute rounds, do this, do that. With as amount of many people as we have now anyway, I can't do that because we don't have that much room.
Right.
So we did a really hard training session on Thursday, and everybody pushed through it.
The turkey roll?
No, I'm sorry, last Thursday, where we
Okay.
did like 10 rounds from certain positions. So you start in this position, you're in 2, out 2, in 2, but your out is not out, it's offensive. You go from defense to offense. So you do
gotcha.
2 defensive escapes, and then you're in the same position doing offense. So he did that, 3 10-minute rounds, and then a couple 3-minute rounds free rolling. And it was everyone fucking killed it.
Oh, shit.
That tells you right there you're a good school.
Right.
You know, no one quit. White belts are all like jumping around. It's like, well, see, this is a good school. Like, I don't need to put you guys through the paces like I used to because everyone's so good.
Right.
As you can see, you know, like shit.
Damn.
They were all excited. Everyone was super pumped. So I don't need to do that every class.
Well, hell yeah.
That's exhausting for me too, because I'm still training just about every class.
Yeah.
You know, you want to feel pressure.
Damn.
Come in, I'll teach you pressure.
Yeah, dude. I've been telling them.
I want to. You know what I mean? Like I've heard such
I've been
great
Well, I
telling
gotta
them.
work. I gotta warm up because I can't do it now because my back. I squeeze you, I'll pop my back. Like, oh, my back. But in training, oh my god, I'll teach you. It's
Hell yeah.
it's next level stuff.
You got to do it, man.
Now I could imagine you probably had like a number of like decent wrestlers come in there and probably.
We've had D1, we've had Olympic wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you now? 3?
October was
Technically a
my
3.
technically a 3, but I haven't gotten officially promoted, which is fine. I don't really care.
Now who
Yeah, it
promotes
doesn't
you
matter.
now?
My instructor,
Who
he's higher than me.
is he? He's not at your gym though, right?
No, he's not. He's at BJJ United.
So
He's
like
Jarrett.
you have to.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
go up
Jared
there.
Wiener, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Jarrett. So we've been together for a few years. So when he gets around to it, it doesn't matter. It's not like it's gonna change anything for me. It's just
Right,
another
it's
stripe
just
means
another-
I'm older.
I know, right?
That's all it means. 3 stripes mean blue belts are like I'm gonna tap him out harder. That's all it means.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, and
The
you know,
experience still comes every single
Yeah.
day, dude.
as far as knowledge, you learn every day. So you never stop learning. Every day you learn something new.
What's the difference between like a first dan and a second dan?
3 years.
It's all about the time though. Like it doesn't matter about like what you do.
Yeah, active, dude.
Active,
Like you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
you can't get a stripe and then 3 years later you get a second stripe and not step into the gym.
Okay.
Like you got to be there every day.
Yeah.
Some
Instructing,
people do
working.
that for like ceremonial purposes, but I don't. All my guys are still active. They don't need to compete, but they're active. They're learning. They're training. They're helping, and that's how you achieve it. You just because you're a black belt doesn't mean you're gonna be the best one on the mat.
Yeah.
Right, right.
You know, when you hit 39, 40, and you're going against some of these younger wrestlers. Kids don't quit. They got so much energy, and they just tire you out. It's not, but you know enough. You know what you need to do to manage and control and keep them at bay and show them. And
100%.
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely, man. I love it.
Yeah,
hopefully one day I can get back there, man. We'll see. See what happens.
Yeah, get your back fixed first, man.
I know, dude. Wednesday.
Yeah, wait,
Hopefully
hold on.
Wednesday's a trick.
Would you allow us to come in with some cameras and let your best guys beat the shit out of me?
No, teach you. They'll teach you.
No. I want to get. But I mean, the best way
Beat up
getting
how?
taught is getting beat.
Like, weird. What are you
Right?
talking about? Beat up how? Hands? Jiu-jitsu?
Whatever they got.
How about you come in and we'll just hold you in a position, see if you can get out.
I like
Well,
that.
That works.
I like that.
And if you get out, then we'll gradually increase to
okay,
worse ass whoopings.
that's why you're the teacher.
That works.
So you get hurt.
We do, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? I'm kidding.
We don't want to see you get hurt. Yeah, but if you come in, we'll start you gradually, and then we'll let you go from there.
All right.
We'll put you in
Hell
like
yeah.
1 or 2 positions with some of the better guys, and if you can get out, and then we'll gradually increase your level.
I'm excited for this now.
You ain't shit.
They just don't know.
Teach me.
I get so many people that come in. I had some old guy come in, try to rip out my throat one time.
Physically?
Yeah.
He grabbed you by the throat?
Yep. I was in mount. He reached up. So he came in, and he was one of those.
His name wasn't Steven Seagal, was it?
So
Did he rip a couple jugglers out?
yeah, Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
Yeah.
He's like, that's still one of my favorite movies. Actually, that's a good movie. So he came in. He said he did some karate, and I was rolling with him, and he says, "Oh, the only reason you're holding me is because I can't use my techniques so full strength." So I look at him, and I say, "Okay, I'm in mount, and I'm in my prime." This was like 7-8 years ago, and I say, "Okay, don't eye gouge me or hit me in my groin, and we're fine. Anything else goes." He reaches up and he goes like this and grabs my throat and my neck. I have a pretty big neck. So he goes like this and I go, just shit. Then I flex and his hand breaks off and I just spin and crank the arm bar and it's like pop, pop, pop. He's like screaming. He gets up. He's like, my techniques don't work here. I was like, I could have told you that. Like he reached up. He literally tried to like rip up my throat. This guy was like fucking like 56 years old, man.
I thought he was going to try to hit you with like a chi ball or something.
He
you know what I'm
reached up
talking
and
about?
tried to like rip up my
G-ball.
Adam's apple. Like, fuck
Damn.
movies you been watching?
Steven Seagal, dude. I'm telling you.
Like, you know how much finger strength you would have to have, like hand strength to do something like that?
First of all, that you got to have some sharp ass nails. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit that goes into grabbing somebody's Adam's apple and popping that shit out of place.
But that's not the first time. I had Taekwondo when we were at the Taekwondo school. They would try to use pressure points as you're training. They would try to stick their thumbs behind your ear, like in your armpits and weird shit like that. It's like,
It's a rule of thumb right there.
no, while you're rolling. I get it if we're fighting, but while we're rolling, they're trying to use those techniques. I'm like, I'm
To
in
like
mount.
make you move or
I'm
something.
like,
Shit throws you off, though, you know
I'm
what I
sitting
mean?
there. I'm like, I'm in mount. What do you think that's gonna do? Like, if we're standing and you're
Right.
like, I can create space and get away, but I'm in mount. Like, psh, stop that. What are you doing? Oh my god, all these years.
So real quick, do you plan on competing at all, like anymore, like jiu-jitsu wise? Or
I am. I really want to. It's just riding this wave, man.
right?
When-
Because you
when
know,
this
I think
wave-
CFFC now is holding
I know.
stuff.
CFFC,
hear-
there's tons of
Did
them.
you hear about this? That John Jones
Yeah, I heard.
is rolling against this. What the hell's his name from WWE? At
Oh,
2300 Arena.
Oh yeah, he.
Jack Swagger.
Yeah. Well,
In a
he's an
jiu-jitsu
MMA
match?
fighter anyway. But
Oh, is he Jack Swagger?
yeah, he's done MMA. I think he fights for Bellator.
Really?
I
if
did
I'm not
not
mistaken.
know
I
that.
didn't
Holy
either.
sh-
I'm not
I thought
sure.
it was
But,
strictly
no,
like
I know he
wrestling
fights
shit.
MMA, but I'm not sure what promotion he fights for. I think it's Bellator.
Oh damn!
Oh, but John Jones gonna wreck that dude.
John's is a big
If
man
he
right now.
makes
He's a
it.
scary guy.
I know, right? If he makes it,
If his head doesn't run,
I'm
into a
looking
cop
forward to
car,
that, man. I can't wait to see the
That's gonna be a fun match.
goat to come get back on the mat.
I really want to, but again, right now I've accepted this wave we're on, and I don't want to do anything for myself to take away from the guys.
Oh right, hell yeah,
So
hell yeah.
I mean, I'm training really hard consistently right now. Hopefully, if there's a stretch of like 4 months, then I'll start grappling again, because that's what I like to do.
Right. Hell yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
And you don't need to be as physical in grappling. You know, you need to be in shape, but it's not as demanding.
Right. It's like human chess. Literally. Like human
wouldn't
chess.
know.
Who, me?
He wouldn't know.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't.
You'll see.
I hope he
I
goes.
can't wait. When you coming, give me a date.
I've been
I'm gonna
telling
make sure
him.
I'm here.
What are you doing tomorrow?
What time?
What time you open?
Nah, but we gotta have cameras. We gotta have a crew.
I have the
we,
whole...
7 o'clock.
We can get on
7
that.
o'clock.
7 o'clock?
No gi.
I'm there. No gay? All right.
I'll train.
I'm in there.
Yeah?
Got
I'm
him.
there, let's
That's
do
it?
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna change his life.
We've...
New member.
That's it.
Hell
We've...
yeah.
You already said it. Look, now he's already agreeing.
I
He's
want
like,
to know.
"Damn."
I want to roll
He's
with
like,
the
"I
best
just-
guys out. You know what I mean? I'm going to get. You know what I mean? I'm going to see. I'm going to see.
No,
really what
don't
it-
worry. I'm telling you, we'll start 1 or 2 positions, and then you'll gradually increase.
All right.
If you still have the energy, we'll throw you in there.
I still have the energy. Come on, man.
Oh.
Trying to be nice.
I hope I
I
get.
feel like it's like one of them perfect things where like, God, please forgive him, for he does not know
Oh
what
yeah.
he
By
said.
the end of it, I'm gonna have like a bloody nose. Like
No,
No,
So
you don't get
you-
punched, dude. It's,
Oh
it's,
no,
it's
no. But
jits.
like, you know what I
It's,
mean? Like a little crossface, you know, some shit like that.
you don't crossface.
You're just gonna
my boy.
choke you a lot.
Yeah. Hyperextensions
Anything
on the
gonna
arms.
make you cry. I'm gonna set the dogs on you. I'm like, get him.
Well, Will, you are the man, dude. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you again, man. Thank you.
100%. You, dude.
It's really rare I get to talk about the old days.
I know.
'Cause they're so rare, and all the shit that
Yeah.
happened, all the stories, man, and not really few people are still from those days. That's why I came on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Old
I
Fight
appreciate
Factory
it, man.
days.
I was like kind of surprised. I was like, because I told Pat, I was like, dude, we got to get Will on. I told Chris, I'm like, we got to get Will on. And I was like, you know what? Let me just ask him.
No, I know you. Like I said, I know you, and there's some people that would ask Lotus questions about other stuff that's not some stuff I want to talk about, but I knew how this was gonna go.
Oh,
Fun
yeah.
talk. Got a new member over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I've been telling him, man. He's young.
How old are you?
21.
Oh man.
No, you're 22, bro. Your birthday just passed.
Oh shit, I am 22.
Oh,
My
God, what's wrong with this guy? No,
Yeah,
we're
22 years
handle
old.
You well. You're gonna be 38 when you leave. They're gonna ask you how old are you. You're gonna be like 38. But stay tuned. A lot of big news coming. So
Hell yeah.
it'll be fun
I can't wait.
for sure.
I love supporting the guys. We love supporting the guys over there. We love
Definitely,
supporting the gym. It's just, like you said earlier, it's like home. You know what I mean? It really
Yeah.
is. And I love seeing the gym succeed. I love seeing the guys succeed. It's,
It's already 11 years, man.
dude, that's insane.
11 years. Just fighting and you see it in my face. It's
like, I've been to
fuck.
A lot of
War,
crazy
man.
experiences, though, man. I bet.
Well, that's how you meet your friends.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
This is a weird sport now, but if you find the right place, those guys are ride or die, man. They'll be there for good and bad, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we have.
Absolutely. I love it. Go check them out. Martinez BJJ. 3511
11
Cottman Avenue. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Be there tomorrow, so
Yeah.
come tomorrow.
He is going to be there at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, and then you guys can talk about it on the next show.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
I'll be there with the
have all-
cannon.
I'll have all
and that'll
types
be
of
it.
bruises on me and shit like that.
Oh, here we go. He's going to go home and give himself bruises and shit. Nah.
It's way past my bedtime.
All right, guys. Episode number 26. Will Martinez. We out.